Hey guys, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to the channel. Not sure when I'll get around to posting this because it is kind of a big job, but this will be part one and who knows how many parts of the build I've got coming up. It is going to be the bed slide build. I'm going to throw up here a sort of version mock-up. I will have plans available once I kind of get this all done and dialed in if you want to copy what I'm doing. Essentially what I'm going to be doing is, and you'll see here, in the SketchUp sort of walkthrough virtual world there, it's sort of like a 6-foot drawer that will slide out of the bed, and that way I won't have to climb up into the bed to get stuff. It should work really well if I do end up going the camper route, which I probably will at this point, the camper shell route, because I won't have room to stand up. So I can just pull things out, put it on, slide it back in. So what we're going to be doing is using a bit of 3/4 inch ply, a bit of 1/2 inch ply, some aluminum tubing, and once we get it all built up, I'm going to be spraying the whole thing with Raptor liner to match the black spray and bed liner that I have from Linex already. So it'll look pretty seamless. I'm going to keep, I think, the hardware, the stainless steel and the brushed nickel hardware, stainless steel and brushed nickel. I don't want to spray over that. I just kind of like the contrast. I have a lot of chrome on my truck already, so I think what I'm going to do is keep the hardware, the shiny color, to sort of match with the chrome bumpers and the side trims. Anyway, as I get going on here, I'll bring you guys along and we'll get started. Alright everyone, I thought I would turn the camera back on and show you what I've gotten done in the last hour or so. Essentially I've built the, well, I'll show you here, flip you around and see what we've been doing. So essentially what we've built are the sides to the drawer. This will go up like this. I'm going to be cutting next from my plywood here the support piece that will go here, down there, and then on the sides of the wheel well. So I've got one here and one here, and these will hold the bearings, top and bottom, that the railing will slide in and out on. There's going to be a railing on the shelf drawer itself that will roll forward and back on top of some bearings, bearing here. I'll have all the parts in this as well, what I'm using to get this done, but this stuff here is just 3/4 inch sand apply. It's sand as in SANDE, not like it's been sanded or anything. It's just sand ply. It's like a marine plywood. It's better for the glue. It's made from glue that is not as water soluble. It can stand up to some moisture, so being in the back of my truck bed, even though I do plan on getting a truck cap for the top here, I am expecting some moisture to get in here, and I am going to be coating this whole setup here with Raptor liner, but just in case, I thought I'd be extra secure and sure of things. I didn't want this to start rotting from the inside and not know about it, so I'll start cutting out from this piece that I just ripped here the supports on the sides, get those glued and screwed, and bring you back here when I'm ready to do that. Right, I'm back with you now. I have the front sort of side piece and the back of the bed side piece cut and shaped and sanded, and I've noticed as you know, this will sit in here like this and support the pieces. It runs front to back, and I got some turnbuckles that will connect to the factory tie down here and then also tie in here, but what I noticed was I'm not sure if it's a function of necessarily like the actual shape of bed and just having been driving it for 7 years, or if it's a function of the spray on bed liner, but the actual curvature here, the radius of curvature of this bed here is not the same on the left side as it is on the right side. If I use, say, this piece that I've marked here, left side back, which slots in very nicely here, if I flip it around and squeeze it in here, it doesn't quite sit flush like it's meant to. It needs some sanding there. So I'm going to have to create these pieces sort of one-off individually. Now, fortunately, this back piece and that front piece have the same radius of curvature. I was able to get the jigsaw out, approximate it, and then sand it down to size here. The next two, which are not the same radius of curvature, it's more of it's not even a semicircle, so I don't know how much work this is going to take, but it looks like quite a bit. But to approximate this sort of radius here, I'm going to look into put in a support there, and then one on the other side of the wheel well, just up there. So it'll be roughly, here and a couple feet up there to support this guy. So there's no sort of movement on it. Now it's really important that I get these pieces the same sort of width from the sidewall, so that this piece, when it's standing up, is exactly straight. This is very crucial. If it's not perfectly straight, sort of like no bow, if it's not perfectly straight, then the railing on the shelf won't roll smoothly on the bearings, and it's way easier said than done, since I'll come over here, the lighting's a little better, since every couple of inches here this sidewall does something different. It comes up here, it goes back here, comes up, goes back, comes up, goes back. Sorry about that finger there. Taking a tape measure and doing some math and just sort of saying, okay, it comes down, to about here before it starts to start curving, and then it comes up to here before it starts to start curving. I was able to basically run the level essentially along the side of the bed once the level started to lift off right there. I knew that was where the curve was. Oh, that was nothing. And then also from here, essentially on the left side of the bed, it was 2 3/8, I think. Radius of curvature was what I measured it out to be. And then got a, this one is a lot less professional, but it did the job. If you don't have, by the way, a rounded bed radius of curvature type thing, this won't be an issue for you. But this is essentially the diameter, very close to the 2 3/8 diameter or radius that I needed here. So I ended up just tracing this cup of noodles along the piece that I needed to cut that out, sanded it, and it happened to be very, very accurate. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the other two here and here. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and glue and screw the back and the front supports. Alright guys, I am sort of back and set up, ready to attach these end pieces. I think that'll probably be it for today. That's wrapping up part 1 of this. Probably looking like maybe, I don't know, 5 to 10 part build. We'll see how this goes. Given that each sort of spot along this is going to require a different radius of curvature for the bed, to get this thing nice and straight, it's going to take a while to get done right, but it'll be worth it, I think. So catch you up on what I've done, and then I'll just take you through the rest of this. Did a pre-drill on this piece because I am drilling into end grain, even though it's not real grain, it's just plywood. But still drilling into the end of the piece. I didn't want to just take screws and do so without putting in a pre-drilled hole. So what I'm going to do is put in some wood glue and screw it up. So you'll see me go ahead and walk through both of those steps right about now. So for this one, I am going to be using, see if you guys can see this. It's a Type Bond 2 Premium, focus, water resistant interior exterior. Okay, so I've gotten the holes pre-drilled here. What I'm going to do now is, as I did before, lay some glue on this guy Get it in the holes there, all along here. Okay. And then got the clamp already ready to go size-wise. Lay this on here, clamp it up, get a few screws in, and then take the clamp off. Okay, my third hole is in the way of the clamp, so I'm going to take the clamp off, but I have these 2 screws. Definitely keeping it in place, it's not going anywhere now. Let's get the 3rd screw in there. Okay, alright. Go ahead and walk it over to the truck to dry test fit, and I'll bring you guys over to check it out. Okay, we're up here in the bed now. I've got it laid in. It's not too bad a fit. I think once we get the braces here and here, it'll really stiff this up sort of in the middle here. Now what I'm going to do is run a turnbuckle from this factory clamp to an eye bolt somewhere probably right around here. Somewhere probably right around here. From the factory clamp to an eye bolt here. Turnbuckle, this will tension it up quite a lot. It's not going to go anywhere. The turnbuckles that I got today are rated to 350 pounds a piece, so we're looking at over 1,400 pounds in terms of weight. Those things will hold in place. So part 2 probably coming up next weekend. You'll see obviously the fabrication of these guys. I'll get more done because I don't have to go to the store, and like I did today, I went to Home Depot. I had to wait in line forever with the extra safety measures going on, but I won't have to go to Home Depot in the morning because I got all the stuff I'll need now. But again, calculating this radius of curvature, it doesn't even look like a regular circle. It looks kind of wonky, flat in places, so I'll have to spend some time on that. And again on this one as well. Here again, it's not a regular angle, not circular or anything, so it's going to take a while, but it'll be absolutely important to get it done correctly, because if this thing doesn't run straight, you run the risk of your drawer slide, the slide falling off the bearings. So we'll go ahead and get this finished up here for part 1. And I will meet you guys back here next week for part 2.